Hey guys, greetings of the day. My name is Ninad Bhatt from Serpent Consulting Services Private Limited, and welcome to the second part of the series of these videos, wherein we are going to discuss about the law firm management solution. So, if I talk about the first video of our series, I guess you have gone through it, and there were basically two things that we had discussed in that video. One was about to have a look at the basic navigation thing, which are the options available to us, and how we can utilize this solution in its best way possible. And also, we had a brief look inside the options available for the configuration to configure this solution now. In fact, right. So I think now we are at a position wherein we can presume that we have configured a solution in a way that we can start working with the other options as well. So in this particular video, we are going to have a look at the law management measure menu item if I go by the menu, and we're going to have a look at that, how the matters are created, how the client's requests are being generated, how we can assign and create and assign lawyers to any particular matter, and how the client's records are being managed inside the solution. So let's start by creating the client's request. We will first start with the last option available in the menu item. The reason is that I think the client's request is something which is the start point of the complete flow of this solution. We are assuming that we are working for this particular law firm. The name is Check and Met Legal Consultants, and these are the people who have approached us when they wanted some kind of litigation support, or when they wanted some kind of legal help or legal assistance from us, right? So as you can see on the screen that we are having the list of clients' requests which have been so far generated by the solution and by the users. We are having some of the basic information like the name of the person, the matter type, whether it's criminal or civil, the contact information, and current state, whether it is approved, rejected, or in a draft state, or whatever state the request is currently in. All right, so let's just go ahead and create the new one. So as you can see that we have all the fields mandatory over here on this form, because the lines are quite uh, dark and black. So let us start with the name itself of the person. Let's say Freddie Henrik is the name of the person. It's the phone number. Services he wants from us. Again, services are nothing but these are the pre-configured data coming in from the configuration. If you remember, we had configured the client services from this section so that we can simply get it selected from the list over this particular form. Now, let's say this person, Mr. Freddie Henrik, wants some kind of legal advice and consultation from us. At xyz.com for an instance. Meta type, let's say it's criminal. Description, if we want to have the brief about what Mr. Freddy has so far facing, and what he faced, in fact, in case of in terms of the criminal activity done by the other person. Or let's say in our case, it's going to be a group who had some kind of attack on Freddy, and that's why the Freddy is approaching us to get some legal advice and consultation from Check and Met Legal Consultant. So that is the plot of the story, I can say. And let's move ahead by saving the record, and let's move ahead by creating the client request of Freddy. So if you have noticed that we have saved the record, and here we some stages are visible. Let's say currently it's in a draft state, so it will simply be active for now. Uh, we can simply create a request by clicking on this button. Then further we have two options available. Either some other person, let's say if you have that kind of hierarchy that the person who creates the client's request within the system is the other person, and the person who actually approves or rejects the request can be the other person. So let's say if the person rejects the request, the particular change will happen over here inside the stages. Or else, let's say if you're approving the request, it will simply be showing us as approved over here. So that's how we can, I think we can create the client's request. When we enter the name of this particular person, Freddie Henrik, the system in backend will automatically be creating a client, which will further help us to select the client's detail, to mention the client details when we will be working with the matters. So let's get back to the list, and we can see that Freddie Henrik have been, the details of the Freddie Henrik have been added over here, and it's in the approved state as of now. One more cool thing about this solution, about all of our custom solution, we can say that it's a very strong search and filtration option available. So in our case, let's say currently I just want to have a look at the request which are there in the approved states, right? I just wanted to, let's say if I want to have a look at the approved request, I simply can get it filtered from here. I would apply this and only the approved request will be shown up. Removing the filtration again will be listing it out in the default way, and all the records can be accessed and can be viewed in the list. So that's how the client's requests are created, right? So further, I think it's now time to go inside the matters and to have a look at how the matters are being created and how the particular lawyer is being associated with that particular matter. Even prior which, let us have a look at the clients. We simply have created one record called Freddie Henrik, and we have approved the client's request, which means that the Freddie Henrik is one of our clients, and the person should be there in a list. Here, it's the Freddie. It's the record of Freddie Henrik. If you want to enter some more details about Freddie, we simply can edit that particular record, right? Let's say if you want to mention his address, like that, we have an option to enter more information about our clients by simply getting it edited. Let's say the phone number is missing and it's one of the mandatory fields, so it simply gave us the error message on top, and by entering the right details we simply can save it. So when whensoever we will be creating the client's request and whensoever we will be entering the name of the person, it will simply be creating the record in background. And simply by going inside the law management and clients, we will be able to manage all the records and all the details of all of our clients. Here we have that function and option to uh, get it listed or get it viewed in case if you want to have a look at the records in the list view. We have an option. We have the toggle buttons like this. Simply by clicking on the Kanban view, again, we will be able to have a look at the client details in this particular way, in the block way, I would say. Okay, so fine. So let's go ahead and create the matter for Mr. Freddie Henrik. So in the legal fraternity, when we say matter is nothing but the actual document and actual information about the incident happened or the crime had happened with any particular person or the company. And we are getting it documented in a way that, okay, this was the case and this is how we are providing the litigation support or the legal assistance to this particular client. So let's say we simply can name a matter. Let's say group attacked Mr. Freddie Henrik. The mob lynching, I think, in that is one specific word for that. Meta type, again, it's going to be criminal. Category would be group violence, and as you can see that we are having a list of category already populated over here. The reason is that we have selected the meta type criminal. If let's say if we want to select civil from here, and accordingly the list will have some of the changes in it, and only the civil cases or the civil category will be listed over here. So again, that is also one more thing, one more example of the same thing, that okay, that we what we configure over here, the data that we configure over here in this particular section of the solution, it will be made available to the other portion of the solution. So let's say it's a criminal matter, the category would be group violence. If you see that that your particular category is not there, you simply can go up and configure it in the way that you want. If you want something else to be added in this particular list, so we can add and remove the categories as well. In our case, the group violence will be more suitable from others. Now, this is a particular field when we are actually assigning a lawyer to a particular matter. Let's say Mr. Harsh Kamath will be taking care of this particular client. Client name, again, I think it is asking us for the client name, but we don't need to create the whole new record. We simply can type in the name of the person, the name of the client, and simply can select it from the list. Or else, if the client request was not there created, we simply will be able to create the new record as well, or else we simply will be able to create and edit the record as well on the go. But we already have the client and we already have the name of the client added, right? So we will simply be selecting Freddie Henrik. Now it's a case when we are selecting that in which mode, in which format the client is going to pay to the law firm. Every lawyer, we will come across that point as well, that when we are creating an employee as a lawyer, we will be asked one important thing, that how the lawyer charges. Let's say the hourly basis costing is also there, the trial basis costing is also there, or else if the client wants to go with the fixed cost model, we can select that thing from this particular list, right? Open date, let's say it's 14. So I think we have entered majority of the details pertaining to the criminal case and the client and the lawyer who is going to take care of that process. Now, if you want to add some more thing in terms of description, we can add over here in this white box to enter some more details pertaining to the matter. Let's say the date itself when the crime was occurred. Even if you want to set a particular time, yes, we will be able to do that. Like this. Location. We can mention the complete location as well. Attack tab, I think that's not mandatory for all the things, because in case of civil cases wherein, let's say, some financial frauds has happened, so at that point of time, I think the attack tab will not be something where we should fill it. But any which way, it's not the mandatory field, so we can skip it. Or else, if you want to mention something, we can. Total number of deaths, fortunately, it's 0. Weapons used, if you want to mention that. Stones and sticks, let's say. Victim, we can add the name, some more details about the victim. Perpetrators, if you have if the client has some information, some more information about the people involved in this in any other way, so we can enter perpetrators as well, and we can enter the details of the suspects as well. It will simply be opening up the new pop-up window wherein limited and only useful information it will allow us to fill in. Discarding for now. Going further with the other tabs, we have some documents to attach. If we are having some supporting document to particular litigation, we will be able to add it from here. Acts and articles. One more example of the configuration. We already have our acts and articles configured, pre-configured, I would say, and we simply can add it over here. Let's say if we want to add the article. So Indian Penal Code of Section 325 is something which fights against the group of people, who are having some bad intentions and who are having some criminal intentions in mind to hurt others. right? So if you want to add more, we can do that. Let's say IPC section 323. If you have noticed one thing, that if we already have selected, see, because you may have hundreds of records in these slides, so might be there are chances that you select one thing twice, you enter the same details again. So let's say if I am selecting 325 once, I'm adding some more items to it, 325 will not be visible because we already have selected it once, and we will be able to select from rest of the records like here. All right, so that's all about how the acts and articles can be mentioned over here. Opposition, if let's say if you're aware about who is going to be the opposition party, right? Who is going to be the opposition lawyer? If you are completely aware about that, we simply can mention it like here. Save and close. Contact person details, again, if you want some more people to have the information of, let's say, if not Mr. Freddie Henrik, but some other people from the family, or some other people, let's say the friends of Freddie, or if you want to add some more information about some the contact details about the relevant person, so you simply can get it added from here. History is a tab wherein we will simply be able to have a look at the auto-populated values when the litigation process is going on, when the case will be in progress. It will simply be having some auto-populated fields and values automatically over here. All right, so it seems that we have filled and we have used, we had a look at all the fields which can help us out. We have already entered all the information which makes our particular case stronger. And of course, in case of litigations, that's a fact that the more information will create more chances to get it won. Yep. So fine, we simply can have it approved from here, or else so we can see that there is a smart button for evidence. If we have some solid evidences against the particular crime which has just happened with Freddie, and if you are having some kind of documents, if you are having some kind of images for the evidence, we simply can get it attached from here, and we can select that evidence is favoring our client or not, and we can mention some more details about that evidences. We can create the new one, and we can simply have the list of evidences to make our case more stronger, right? So that's how the matters are being created. We're going to approve this particular matter, and also make sure that you are approving the matter at a point where you realize that there will not be any further changes to the basic information of the same, because once the matter have been approved, we will not be able to edit many things out there, right? So as you can see that the stages gets changed automatically. It's from draft to approved, and automatically the history says something about the particular matter. It was in the draft state, then it got approved on a particular date. So of course, the litigation process is not something which will happen over the night, and which will wherein we get the conclusion over the night. And here in these fields, in the form of the list, we will be having all the history, all the data pertaining to how the case was commenced and how it has been going so far. So that's the reason that we are having these fields which are auto-populated. Yep. Again, in case of actions, we are having some more options available if you want to duplicate or delete the things out, or if we simply want to create the invoices for the matter. So let's set the particular matter in progress. By clicking on in progress button, again, we can say that the stage gets changed automatically, and now the matter is on the ground, now the case is on the ground, and we will be able to work with some more options pertaining to the trials, invoices, and evidences. So that's how the matters are created. That's how we can assign matters to the lawyers, and that's how we can say we already had a look at the client's request, clients matters, and lawyers. Of course, we will have the brief look inside it when we will be discussing how to manage the employees of the law firm. But yes, these some of the employees are the actual people who takes care of the litigation process, who takes care of the court hearings and everything. So these people would be the lawyers, and only those employees will be visible inside law management and lawyers. So we'll have the brief look inside those points as well. Thank you very much for joining this video, and I hope that you are learning a lot from this series of these videos. And keep looking at the videos and keep watching our videos to know more about this particular solution and about all of the solutions that we offer. Thank you very much, sir.